because we've been given updates, and the updates that I give always, put up there. All inquiries we've channeled through 1508. We've asked the CA to also give us a more, a better number that is easier for Nairobians to remember, maybe 047 or something that we can still use for the county. That is, an emergency number. The problem is that if today you ask a Nairobian, if in case of a fire, what number do you call? Most don't know. And so we've been doing a campaign of, advertisements on radio, on TV, just letting people understand, what to do in case of an emergency, different protocols, how to test the water. And we're just trying to do much of that public information beyond just me going to the press. Because when I go to the press, then they get derailed and ask a lot of political questions. So sometimes you'll see Bram is the one who I send, so that it can be restricted to the areas of disaster.
Oh, okay. I think let's leave it at that. Senator Sifuna, is it a question or just a...
Yes, Governor, clarify for me. You said the county did not receive any money for the El Nino rains.
Yes.
What support have you received from national government for the current flooding? And also there was a pronouncement by the Deputy President during his visit to Mradi.
Yes.
Whether that money is now with you.
No. Nairobi County has not received money for disaster, and ideally we should not. We're able to if we get our resources that we're supposed to get, but the interventions that we've agreed can be handled by the national agencies. For instance, there is no need to send us money for the cash transfers, because these people have been identified by a joint team that has the national government officers and the county government officers. If it's easier for the national government to give that money, and mostly they do it through Red Cross, to give the money to Red Cross, to send the money directly, we're okay. It is easier, it will take us a shorter time than going through the COB and then saying which budget was this. It's actually easier for national government to be able to do that directly. Much of the support, for instance, on the bridges, that one has been now directly handled. So Kura is taking care of that. There are those that we're doing as a county based on our budget, but there are those that the national government is doing, which would be counted as support to Nairobi. But instead of giving us the money for us to now start procuring a new, contractor, they're able to now contract directly, and we're happy with that.
So the support is not in cash; it's in kind.
There's no cash support.
It's in kind. It's through services, infrastructure. But the county is expending. But is it quantifiable yet, or it's still flowing? So you can't quantify.
Well, it's quantifiable. I think we can be able to quantify what kind of support has been given. So
what
far.
Number would you put on it so far?
So it's not cash received by Nairobi, but the interventions the government is undertaking in Nairobi so far, I would put at around 500 million.
500 million?
Yes.
What about the other proclamation you're talking about? I'm not privy to it.
Sorry.
Yes, during Mradi, Governor, and because you have teams down there,
yeah.
If somebody stands up and says all the 40,000 victims are going to get 10,000 shillings, can you confirm to us if any of those people in those camps have received that money?
According to the county,
that would come to 400 million.
Yes,
I'd have to look at that. According to the county government, from what I know, and the CFO is here, that has not been done by the county government. So
no, I'm asking, from the national government.
Yeah.
You have your teams in the camps there. How many of the affected people receive that money?
You can ask before the end of the meeting.
As you sit here, you can just say yes or no.
No, I don't want to give a wrong answer. Let me just ask the county admin.
Okay, and the Mradi one?
That's what I'm saying. I want to ask the sub-county admin to tell us if there was a proclamation by a member of the national government, a senior officer, that they will receive some amounts of money, they should be able to do it. So I want to find out if they actually received that money. I know some of these victims.
And that is the reason we started by insisting that we need to implement the law as it is, to avoid the roadside proclamations. And so we hope that your disaster and emergency management response will be bound and guided by the law. Now, honorable members, I think we've done justice to this matter.
There's just one question the senator asked that I think would be good for you to have a response.
In a minute.
And to allay the issue of the qualifications of the staff in the sector. Because I had seen things before in social media that are not true. That the head of disaster has a degree in theology.
What degree does Bramwell have?
So Bramwell, though many disasters have.
No, let's start with Bramwell. Bramwell, what's your background? What's your qualification?
Chair, I have a degree in strategic management, a master's in strategic management, but I have a BA in English and literature.
in
But I've
English
done
and
many courses.
literature. I guess you need some English to
But I've
manage
also, but
disasters.
I've also done a lot of short courses on disaster. But just to
And
maybe,
the other two directors?
so the other two directors, the director in charge of fire and rescue services has a BSc in disaster management and a diploma, and is currently doing a master's in crisis management at what's it called, the defense college. That's the director. His deputy here.
Chair, perhaps because I'm the one who put up that post, allow me to guide
I
this
was going to answer.
Order,
my able
Bramwell.
senator.
I can see Bramwell is trying to be clever. Bramwell, is there an officer called Anastasia Sumbua in your department?
Yes,
What is her position?
she's a principal fire officer.
What is her qualification?
She's in theology.
Correct.
And there's
Let's
nothing wrong
move
with
to
that,
the next
Senator,
one. Just a minute.
Because disaster management.
Just a minute.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute.
Yes,
Is there somebody called Juliana Nziuki?
correct.
What is her position?
I think she's also a principal, if I'm not wrong. But
Yes. What is her qualification?
she has. I was just looking at it a minute ago.
So that it is not, Governor,
Yeah.
seeing that we just perpetuate fake news on the media,
Yeah.
and it is intended to help you reallocate these resources in a manner that will be most efficient for the people of Nairobi. Juliana Nzuki has a degree in theology as well.
Can you confirm that, Bramwell?
I'll go through the list.
Bramwell, can you confirm that?
I can confirm that, Chair.
Good.
Okay,
Let's go to Brian Kariuki, the Chief Fire Officer.
He's not chief fire officer.
What is
There is no gentleman called Brian Kariuki.
He is, but he's not the chief fire officer.
What is his position?
He's probably just part of the fire team.
What is his qualification?
I would have to check.
He is a library, is a degree in library studies. You will
Right.
check with me.
Yes.
Lastly, Chair, Disaster Management Officer, Belinda Anyango. Is she there?
Yes, she is.
What is her position?
I wouldn't, but I would agree with whatever.
No,
qualification she has.
Bramwell. You are not going to.
Chair, I need to clarify
Bramwell,
something.
order.
Yes.
We will put you on oath
Yes.
if you proceed that way. Senator Sifuna.
Yes, Bramwell, Belinda has a degree in tours and travel.
Okay.
Yes, there is a mismatch of skills in your department. And when we bring them up, it's not that because we have anything against you or against these officers. They could be more useful in other departments. That's the point that we are making. So you don't need to become defensive.
Chair, allow me to say
We have
this.
that matter
Allow me
rests
to- allow me
there
to say this,
because
Chair, with all due respect.
Order, Bramwell.
With all
That-
due respect, Chair. We just want need to clarify.
Governor, you must guide your officers that
I see
anything
where
they say is through you, and if they insist on speaking, we must put them on oath. So I have ruled as a chair that the facts have been presented. You have theologians and librarians in the fire department. That's a fact. Whatever explanations you give, maybe they need to rearrange the books after the fire, or they need to pray for the people who have died. That can be dealt with later. Members, let us go back to the audit report. Let us go back to the audit report. The county executive walked in here at 12:10. It is 2:23. It is 2 hours later. We have dealt with a very important live matter, but it's only one out of 50, out of 55 issues. So allow me, members,
Chair,
for us to be
answer
able
the
to
last
make
question
progress,
on
to go back
districts.
to the audit issues.
Because Senator Sifuna had asked about payments to victims, I had asked the governor to know how many Nairobians or the people that have died in Nairobi because of these floods, how many are in distress, so that it ties up with what Senator Sifuna was asking about
Governor,
the payment of 10,000.
Governor, that just state the number. Don't even explain. How many have died? Do you have the number? And how many are in distress? Just the number, without a story.
The number, Chair. Those who've died from flood-related issues, the number I have is 20
20?
in Nairobi.
And those in distress?
60,000 families